Today on Clubhouse Gas, it's a holiday shopping special. We're going to help you shop for your kids' lacrosse gear. You got a kid, they're looking to get into lacrosse and you're not really sure what to do? Well, we're here at Breakaway Sports and they're going to help us and kind of take us through step by step what your kid needs for lacrosse, and maybe it'll help you out when you put stuff under the Christmas tree. So stay tuned to a special holiday shopping edition of Clubhouse Gas. We're glad to be joined by Cullen Littlefield. Cullen, thank you so much for joining us.
How's it going?
It's going pretty good. Now, the extent of my lacrosse knowledge goes back to our very first show ever. Go back and look at past shows, all the way at the bottom. Jimbo learns lacrosse, or Casey learns lacrosse, and Jimbo taught me, and I showed up in my catcher's gear. So, I mean, I need some help here. But what we're talking about today is we're getting close to the holidays. Parents are going out shopping, and a lot of parents whose kids are just starting to play lacrosse really have no, like if my kid wanted to play lacrosse, I'd have no idea what to get for him. So I'm hoping that you can take me through the process of gearing my kid out as a Christmas present to get ready to play lacrosse. Can you help me out with that?
I can do that.
All right, so let's start off with, I got an 8-year-old. He comes, he's interested. Dad, I want to play lacrosse. I'm excited. Let's play lacrosse. So I want to outfit him for Christmas. Show me what it's going to take.
Okay, it's going to take a pair of shoulder pads right here. This is just a small pair. It's not as protective as the higher end ones because at the younger level, there's not as much physical parts to the game. It's still protective, but it's on a lower end.
Now, I don't know if you can tell by looking at me, but I played a little football in my day, and I wore shoulder pads. They were a lot different than this.
Yeah, these are like wimpy quarterback shoulder pads, aren't they?
I don't even know that they'd go that far. I don't know that I'd put a quarterback in. There's not a lot going on here. But this is important. This is what we need. All right. And so what is this going to run? This is for about an 8-year-old? All right. And what's that going to run me?
The shoulder pads themselves are going to be about, what are these? I honestly,
20, 30 bucks?
About 30.
35 bucks.
35
But what
bucks.
we're going to do is we're going to buy it as a package.
Buy it as a package?
All right. So what's the rest of the package?
The rest of the package, you're going to get these shoulder pads right here. You're going to have a pair of gloves, a pair of arm guards.
And that's going to go on my elbow?
That's going to go from about here to here on the arm. It helps protect where the glove ends and where the shoulder pad ends.
All right, so we're starting to get a bunch of gear here. So what else we got?
We also got a helmet, probably one of the more important parts. I mean, parents are really going to want to see their head protected on
Well,
the kid.
if it's my kid, he's going to have a hard head, but most kids will probably really want a good helmet. Because if he gets that for his father, he's going to have a big, thick skull and not much to protect anyway.
Yeah, but I mean, all the helmets that are sold, they all have to go through a strenuous review process by NOXI, which is is a headgear board for contact sports, and so all of them come straight from them, approved. This is going to be in the package that they would buy. Package for 8-year-old kid is probably about $180 without the stick.
Really? And so you get all this stuff, including this slick helmet, which any kid would just be excited on Christmas morning to open this slick helmet for $180.
$180.
That's not bad at all. So show me the stick. I'm going to set this down.
Okay.
Show me.
The stick, when you buy it with the package, is going to run you about $25 more. And so that puts you about $205.
$200.
Yeah, I mean, you can outfit the kid for just over $200, which is, great, because this tends to be an expensive sport for some kids. So
But this will last them, about 2 years for all the gear?
Yeah, it should last them, until he outgrows it for the most part.
What about the stick? How long is it going to take him to outgrow the stick?
The stick, actually, I mean, all the sticks are a regulation size, so it's going to go until it breaks. And these don't break unless it's, some kids just really misusing it, yeah.
Which 8-year-olds tend to do sometimes. All right, so we've outfitted my 8-year-old for $200. What about a little more advanced player? Let's say a 9th grader, 8th grader, 13, 14 years old.
You're going to look at, say, a higher end pair of these gloves right here, which are going to run you about $120 or so.
Okay.
Which is, I mean, as you go through levels, it's all about more comfort and actually a whole lot more protection because they are going up in the levels. And the action is a little bit more fast-paced, and the hitting's a little bit harder.
Now, out of all this gear, you're a lacrosse player. Out of all this gear, to you, what is your most important piece?
The most important piece is probably the gloves and then the stick. The gloves, it's an extension of the stick to you. I mean, it's your connection between you and the stick. And the stick is, without the stick, the game's useless.
Well, that makes sense. The stick's not going to do you much good if you can't hold on to it.
Exactly.
All right, so we've got gloves. It's a bigger glove, more high-end glove, and now
you
you've
have
got
a
a new
more
stick.
high-end stick. And sticks, after a while, if you're really looking for, some of the more high-end, they can run pretty expensive. I mean, this whole combination right here could actually run you about $200,
Right.
just the stick itself.
Now, the difference being, when you're outfitting your 8-year-old who's just starting to play, you have to buy everything. But as you start to get up, you can buy one piece at a time.
One piece at a time. It makes it a whole lot easier. And also, I mean, the higher-end heads and shafts on the sticks, the shafts become more durable, lighter, and the heads also become a little bit more durable and a little bit lighter.
Now, is a lacrosse stick like a baseball bat? For me, playing baseball, there were 12 guys on the team. There were 12 completely different bats. And even the guys who had the same make of bat, even the same weight and length, it was a different bat. You didn't want to hit with the other guy's bat. You had some tape on it or some pine tar or whatever.
It's the same way. One of the things that makes lacrosse one of the most unique sports is no two guys on the field have anything alike on their stick usually.
Right.
I mean, everybody's pocket and their stringing is completely different. Everybody uses a different head. Everybody uses a different shaft, and everybody uses a different tape job on the shaft.
All right, cool. All right, so I've got gloves, I've got a new stick, and I'm guessing you're going to give me something to cover my big noggin.
Yeah. As you go up, you want a more streamlined helmet. As you go up in the levels, if you can tell the difference between the last helmet that I showed you, the other one was kind of boxy.
Looks like I can have more peripheral vision with
You got a little more peripheral vision, and like you said, with the vision, the sight lines are a whole lot different. I mean, it's a whole lot more streamlined look, and actually because of the shape of it, it tends to become a little bit more protective.
A little bit more because it just blows glance
off the head.
That makes perfect sense. So a parent can just come in here, say, this is what I'm looking for my kid. You guys can help them out and walk them through everything they need. Now,
Yes.
what about a goalie? That's a little bit different, right?
Goalie's a little bit different. On their helmets, actually, because, the throat's a little bit open, and
Right.
you don't want a shot because the shots can become really quick at the higher levels of the
How
game.
fast is the ball coming?
The fastest shot recorded is about a 109, and most high school players around here probably shoot about 70s.
And that's from what distance from the goalie?
That's about 12 yards, 16 yards.
That's a little closer than a 90-mile-per-hour fastball.
Yeah, so you've usually got a plastic throat guard right here. The stick is a whole lot different because, as you saw with the other one, it was a little thin, a little
Right.
little narrow. But now you've got this wider head for the goaltenders because, who wants to try and stop a shot coming at you at 80 miles
If
an hour?
I was the lacrosse goalie, I would probably just stand like this. Or either way, that would be the two positions. So you get this, but this can go on the same stick. They use the same stick.
They can
just screws right on.
Any shaft can go on any head.
And then the defensive players.
Defensive players actually, they use a 6-foot-long pole. It's to help keep those steady offensive players at bay.
Now, but for an 8-year-old just starting out, you're probably just going to put them on a small.
They're
stick
all going to be on the short sticks
because they're going to play everywhere.
Yes.
What about do they have different things for the goalies at that age?
No, usually, they just have the other head. They have the throat guard and a chest protector, and let them go.
All right, cool. Well, thank you so much, buddy. I really appreciate
problem.
it. Parents, find your specialty store. Get on in there. Tell them what you need. These guys will be more than happy to help you out right here at Breakaway Sports. Thanks, buddy.
Thanks.
We're going to see you right back here tomorrow for another edition of Clubhouse Gas.